Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome into our beautiful sanctuary space. Or if you're watching from home, we welcome you as you sit in your Mikdash Ma'at, in your beautiful sanctuary you've made of your home. Wherever you are, we are here to try to let go of the cares of the week and wish each other peace. So let's start by singing. That's always a good way to do it. Page 10, Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Mishohavdecha,
Heart's delight, source of mercy, draw your servant into your arms. I leap like a deer to stand in awe before you. How beautiful to be able to leap together, to come into this place of worship and joy. As Cantor says, we are appreciating the beauty of the space and the beauty of each other. It's so meaningful to be able to share this time and this Shabbat. We want to make sure that everyone is welcomed and a part of the community. Please turn to someone around you, wish them a Shabbat Shalom, welcome them to our service. And we do remind everybody the county has been warning us that we're coming to a time where it's a good idea to be wearing masks. So if you do need to have a mask, we have some in the back. We're not requiring, but encouraging. And we're going to keep a little bit of a distance, even when as we're singing unmasked. But we're still in this place. We've had a number of people in our community who have gotten COVID recently, so we want to do everything we can to keep everybody safe.
And for those of you who don't know us, we pod together, so that's why we're up here. So I'm Cantor Ida Ray Kahana. This is Rabbi Michael Kahana.
We even share a last name. We have a very special Shabbat as we're going to welcome a young person. Hannah Kushner is taking on their responsibilities as a B'nai Mitzvah, coming to this community tomorrow morning. We'll be able to listen and to be a part of that service. But to get our service started, we're going to invite Hannah and their family to come up and to bring the lights of Shabbat into our community. We're on page 2.
these Shabbat candles give us light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Mazel Tov. We're going to turn to page 5 and welcome everyone to please rise as Hannah's going to lead us in the Kiddush.
I misled. Stay here. Page 5.
Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah v'hanu, v'shabbat kadsha, v'yatzah v'ratzon inkilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereishit, ki hu yom tehillah, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki
Kivanu b'charta, yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'ayim, v'shabbat kodecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, yirchatanu.
Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim.
Beautiful. Also, looking forward to tomorrow.
Mazel Tov.
Thank you, everybody.
Please be seated. We are continuing on page 20, L'chadodi likrat kala. Come, let us welcome the bride of Shabbat.
L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor dibur echad, ישמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה
בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכבוד ולך, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם לסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בורך כל מאורי, אורי, אורי.
B'nei Shabbat, Nekamela lecha dodi, likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Please rise, we turn towards the door and welcome the bride of Shabbat. Page 26.
Standing for the call to prayer, page 28.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach, Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach, Leolam Vaed.
Page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Faravi.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
Amen. This next prayer, Ahavat Olam, on page 32, talks about the omniscient, everlasting, incredible love that God gives to the people Israel. So it's a kind of prayer about chosenness, but it only works if we also choose to take those teachings, to study those teachings. And this Sunday, we are going to welcome our 10th graders, our confirmation class, to become confirmed as they affirm their ongoing commitment to learning, to study, to being Jewish. And the way that we have been doing this in the last few years, which is so beautiful, is that we actually have a chuppah, and they write together a brit, a covenant of their promises that they're going to make, and we bless them. So as we think about what is our commitment, how do we honor our part of the deal, our part of the bargain with God in order to keep living and learning those beautiful teachings, we take this prayer into our hearts.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohevanu Yisrael.
Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
We sing together Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
We chant together on page 36.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו
ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's feet, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, a winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Page 40.
כמוך באים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, תורה תהילה
יעקב, וגלום יחזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming the people Israel.
Amen.
Page 43.
I don't know if you noticed when you were coming in, but I'll call your attention to it so that when we gather after the service, you can take a look. There's a table set up on that side of the lobby, and on that table is a basket overflowing with hundreds of notes that we have received from students from St. Mary's, as well as a beautiful hand-painted and written card from Metropolitan Learning Center. And those are just MLC. Those are just some of the outpouring of support and of outrage and of love that we felt following the anti-Semitic incidents that happened to us. And so we have them out there because they give us hope, and we want to thank our loving neighbors that we all stand together as one community. So in that spirit, let us sing this beautiful Hashkivenu prayer with this interpretation at the top of page 43 of Let There Be Love and Understanding Among Us.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Join us. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom, V'hamidenu,
And understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter.
Shlomecha, Hashkivenu,
And understanding among us. Peace and friendship be our shelter.
Last time,
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our
shelter from life's storms.
Baruch atah Adonai, Resukat Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of the people Israel. A shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We say,
Amen.
Page 46, we rise for tefillah.
Adonai, Elohe Abraham, Elohe Yitzchak, Elohe Yaakov, Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'kol Melech HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imavot, U'mevii Gula Liknei Bneihem, Le'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezra Sarah. Atah Gibor Elam Adonai, Mechayel Kol Atara Leoshia.
Mori Atah, Mechaper Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Tzomech Noflim Lerofeh Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mekayeh Emunato, L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, U'lidon Melach, Melech Venit U'mechayeh, U'matzmiach B'Shuvah, V'neman Hata L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, Kadoshim V'kol Yom Yalanu Chasela. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. O God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh, blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Let's read together on the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat, praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies the Sabbath.
Amen.
V'tzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, u'tfilatam b'ahava tekabel, u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel. Accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. O God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato leTzion, modim anachnu lach.
Modim anachnu lach.
For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha lechana elehodah.
Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Amen. We're going to sing a song of peace, Lo Yisagoy. It's on page 61. It's in the middle of the page. And
A little quote from Isaiah.
a little quote from a good one. And if you are not feeling like singing, or sometimes I know it's fun to just float in our prayer book and kind of read what are some of the other readings. That there's a beautiful one there at the bottom that starts with "Don't stop." So you can read that. You can sing with us. Lo Yisagoy.
Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisakoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama.
Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. May it come to be. We'll take a moment of quiet prayer for each of us to find our own prayer, perhaps a prayer for peace, a prayer of strength in difficult times, a prayer of connection to community. May we all find our quiet and personal place.
Ose shalom bimroma, hu yase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, Shalom aleinu.
One who makes peace in the high heavens, make peace for us, for all the people, Israel, for all of the world. And we say,
Amen.
we had a prayer for those in our community who are ill, who are not able to be with us in person, but our prayers extend to all of those who are in need. If there is someone in your life who could use a special prayer of healing for body, for spirit, for soul, and you'd like to share their name with us, please do so now.
Elna rifanala, elna rifanalo, elna rifanala, elna rifanalanu.
Oh God, heal her. Oh God, heal him. Oh God, heal them. Please send healing of mind, of body, of spirit to each one of us, and we say, Amen.
Amen. strength of healing and prayer, the prayer of peace as well that lifts us and holds us. We want to honor some of the young people in our community, and young is up to you to define. It's whatever you'd like, it's good with me. But anyone who has a birthday in the month of May, we'd like to invite you to come up to the bima right now, and we would like to give you a special blessing. Any birthday folks?
And some chocolate.
Oh yeah, see now the chocolate is what got everybody going. A lot of people who don't actually have birthdays are going for the chocolate. And is it your birthday this month? July. It's close. Okay. Please rise. Have you, there you go, that's the way. Okay, we're going to have you stand under this Sukkot Shalom. O God of days and years, we thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for the opportunity to celebrate moments in our life. May you continue to be with us and guide us in the years ahead. Bring us health and strength and sense of community, the ability to be grateful for all of your many gifts.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
We have some chocolates and even some sugar-free things if you prefer. Anyone who wants?
Okay, come here,
You can share. And we'll ask everyone to remain standing for a moment. We are in a period of counting as we have moved from Passover and moving along quickly towards Shavuot. And those 2 days were pilgrimage holidays, times when our people came together into Jerusalem and brought the sacrifices. And we mark each one of these days in between to make them unique and special. So if you'd like to follow along, the blessings for the Omer counting are on page 278.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, asfirat haomer.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who gives us commandments and commands us to count the Omer.
היום 18 יום שהם 4 שבועות לעומר.
Today is 28 days, which is 4 weeks of the Omer. Please be seated. The recent leak of a draft Supreme Court decision came as a shock, but not a surprise. A shock because if the draft actually reflects the decision that is expected in June, it will represent a tearing away of a series of freedoms which have been held in our country for 2 generations. It comes as no surprise because conservative political and religious forces have been working methodically for all of this time to remove these freedoms. We know that the right to privacy on which Roe v. Wade is based underlies several other personal, medical, and family decisions, such as the use of contraception, the freedom to marry a person of the same gender or of a different race. Shocking, this is, because the removal of these well-established freedoms comes and should be undertaken with only the greatest of reservations. Yet this ruling, if it does come, is not a surprise. Abortion foes have been zealously preparing for this eventuality. States across the nation have passed draconian laws expressly to challenge the 1973 Supreme Court ruling. Supreme Court justices have been selected and nominated with this goal in mind, even though each modern justice in their confirmation hearing expressed that the right to privacy established in Roe v. Wade is settled and established law. It has become increasingly clear that the goal of destroying this ruling, revoking this right, was integral to their selection. Where we stand today is not a surprise, but it is a shock. I was 13 years old when Roe v. Wade was decided. I was about 6 months past my bar mitzvah, but I remember the controversy of that time. I was young, but I still knew that many women, mainly poor women, were dying, trying to obtain an abortion in a dangerous, illegal environment. I remember wondering if, as some were saying, human life was defined as fully human at conception, wouldn't miscarriage be considered a murder? Was it right for a person to be forced to carry and birth a child against her will? And since the pro-life argument was based in a religious belief, I wondered what my Jewish beliefs taught. Over the years, I've learned that there is a great deal of clarity on this subject in Jewish teaching. Often Judaism has had to deal with new realities in a rapidly changing world. I've grown to have a great affinity for the ways that Jewish teaching has had to adapt and interpret to new scientific and cultural understandings, and I love that it does. In fact, my own personal rabbinic studies, I developed a specific interest in Jewish bioethics as it struggled to adapt to a changing world and changing new questions. But on the subject of abortion, on the subject of when a person is defined as fully human, Judaism has had clarity for millennia. This is not something new. Human beings have struggled with how and when to conceive and carry for as long as we've had the means to affect the outcome. The Torah makes clear, and rabbinic law over the past 2,000 years has affirmed the Jewish stance, that the life of the person carrying the fetus takes precedent over the fetus. That person carrying is actual. The fetus is potential. In the Torah, the fetus is literally considered to be property. Later writings consider it to be part of a person's body, which might be sacrificed in order to save that person's life. In our tradition, long affirmed, a child is considered to be a full person once they are born. Technically, once the head emerges, perhaps linked to that breath of life, that moment, is considered the full humanity of a person. Now, I understand that other religious traditions believe differently, and they are, of course, free to believe as they will. However, they are not free to impose their beliefs on others. Not on me, not on other Jewish persons, not on anyone. Roe v. Wade protects those who make their own considered decisions with their own autonomy, their own individuality, their own ability to choose. Any person whose religious beliefs hold that life begins at conception is free to carry out those beliefs, but they are not free to force others to conform to their beliefs. That's not America. The Reform movement, which holds the autonomy of the human being as sacrosanct, has been especially strong on this subject, and I love it for that. Basing itself on ancient Jewish teachings, holding on to bringing those teachings forth into the world that we live in today. The Reform movement has stood strong on a person's right to make their own choices on reproduction. Tomorrow, the Shabbat that is beginning now, there will be a march in Washington, D.C., marches in Oregon, and all over the country to demonstrate against this projected destruction of a basic freedom, one that is held for almost 50 years as a constitutional right in our nation. It's called Bands Off Our Bodies, a demonstration on the National Mall that is projected to have some 17,000 marchers, a sign of how important this freedom is to our nation, to the ideal of privacy and of autonomy, for the ability for people to make their own medical and family decisions. We must be vocal and demand our freedoms, including the freedom of our own religious determination. This week's Torah portion and more demands one law for the stranger as for the homeborn, not for a series of laws depending on what state you happen to live in, that rights and freedoms will be based on the state that you live in, but one law that represents freedom for all. We have work to do, my friends. We have to make our voices known. We have to vote. We have to protect our freedoms and the freedoms which flow from it. Together, may we continue to build a nation of personal autonomy and the freedom to choose. Ken Yeh Ratzon, with the God's will. We turn back in our prayer books to page 282 as we rise for Elena.
Shall
turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We honor the memories of those in our community who have recently died. Michael Bernikoff, Susan Bergman, Susie Desmond, Marilyn Grunbaum, Steve Bergman, Dan Hurwitz, Alfred Katz, Jean Layton. And we honor the memories of those whose Yortzites, the anniversary of their passing, occurs during this time. Flora Albert, Bernard Albert, Harry Arnsberg, Selma Asher, Philip Blank, Albert Alexander Blum, Roland Bonamici, Anselm Boskowitz, Henry Brostein, Sidney Chucker, Elliot Cohen, Richard Dean Cohen, Barbara Cohn, Helen H. Director, Leah Estrin, Francis Friedman, Evelyn Freeman, Evelyn Georges, Rose M. Golby, Alfred Goldfaden, Bertha Goldhair, David H. Greenberg, Stephen Greenwald, Joseph Haas, Marie Hobart, Isidore Hoffman, Melvin Hoffman, Shirley Hoffman, Kenneth Judd, Sally Sophia Kirshner, Ruth Kreminski, Rose Mervis Linsky, Shana Esther Levin, K. M. Levine, Michael Thomas Mackler, Gertrude Mills, Jenny Noodleman, Sarah Papka, Ludmilla Julia Pitkin, Solomon Plushnik, Milton Elias Potter, Dorothy Pegrosi, Ruth Ratke, Belle Rannick, Benjamin Resnick, Regina Ginsburg Riggs, Selma Robinson, Saul C. Robinson, Louis Romoff, Louis M. Rosenkrantz, Mayor Rosenkrantz, Marvin Rubens, Musa Sabi, Florence Silverman, Johanna Slutsky, Samuel Solomon, Marvin Trigars, Saul Treuhoft, Phyllis Green Weidenbaum, Daniel Hillel Werner, Martha Whiteley, Morris Wolf, Bertha Willock, Min Zidell. If anyone else is honoring a Yortzeit and you'd like to share their name with us, please do so now. Thank you. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled. As we turn to page 294, we rise and together we say the words of Kaddish. It gadal v'it gadash me rabba, ve'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehesh me rabba mevorach leolam lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kurusha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shmaya V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all the people Israel, and to all of the world. And we say,
Amen. You can be seated.
Please be seated, yes. We have our regular Shabbat experiences tomorrow morning, Torah study at 9 o'clock online. The links are on our website. And at 10:30, we're all invited to celebrate with Hannah as we come to this bima and have an incredible B'nai Mitzvah. On Tuesday, I'd like to invite you to a program that we're hosting at Temple in collaboration with Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon and many in the Ukrainian community, a commemoration of the events in Ukraine and the hopes and prayers, particularly for refugees. And as we're beginning to lay the groundwork for refugees who may well be coming to Oregon, we're going to be doing some work to help lay the groundwork for them as well. It will be a really beautiful musical program with a number of speakers. 7 o'clock here in the sanctuary on Tuesday. Please join us and please bring friends.
Sunday, May 22nd is Mitzvah Day. I think you can still sign up for different activities online. And Thursday, May 26th is our 164th, I think, annual meeting.
They're still meeting. They've been all.
So what an amazing milestone. So anyway, all of these things are on the website. Do check that now and then in case we forget to tell you something. But mostly come and celebrate with Hannah and their family tomorrow. We're looking forward to that. 10:30.
Immediately following our final benediction, please join us in the lobby for a brief kiddush and motzi and a chance to wish you a Shabbat Shalom personally.
Let's rise and sing Adon Olam together, page 321.
Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra, Be'ein Nasa V'chetza Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levato Himlot Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hove, Ve'hu Yeh, Betzifara, Ve'hu Yeh, Betzifara, Ve'hu Echad V'yeh Sheni, Lehamshivo Lehachbira, Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, V'lo Ha'os V'ha'misra, V'lo Ha'os V'ha'misra, Ve'hu Eli B'chai Go'ali, V'tzur Chevi V'yitzara, Ve'hu Nisi U'vanosi, Minat Kosi, Ve'yom Ekra, Minat Kosi, Ve'yom Ekra, Ve'yadon Afkidruchi, Ve'etisha, Ve'ayira, Ve'imruchi, Kefiyati, Adonai li, Ve'lo ira, Adonai li, Ve'lo ira.
Oh God, give strength to our people. Oh God, bless us all with peace. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.